Hello, today is March 11th, 2023. This is a special update on a possible idea for the long-term picture after this week's big drop in the market, which took out significant support. It's support I thought would hold. We always start with our disclaimer. I know people always jump over it, but I want to call your attention to the part of the disclaimer that says predictions for longer-term moves are not based on the MEJT system. Can't expect them to have the same level of accuracy. I had a great wave count, assuming that recent lows would hold, but they didn't, so I have to reassess the wave count, come up with something else which gives us a pretty picture. Now, this was the count I had. There's all kinds of evidence that this low is going to hold here in October, and I would like whatever we come up with to have that low hold. Doesn't make me right, but I'm going to assume that's going to hold. Now, if that's true, and that's 1, and this is A, and this is B, I have us in black C. At least I did. And no matter what I did, I couldn't make that count balance out. Doesn't mean there's not some way to do it, but I couldn't find one. So I had to go to one of the other counts. I always say there's not just one valid count. I had to relabel this so that this was wave A, and I degraded these waves, and after they're Plutoed, you get an ABC of lesser degree, and that's A, and then we have an ABC, and that's gray B. And by this count, we're now in gray C. And you want to find some relationship between gray C and gray A where things balance out. I also want this low to hold. Turns out if gray C is equal to half of way A, you bottom out around 35.1692, and let's see what that happens. Let's see what happens if that's where we bottom out here. This is the wave count I had, and at the low of the year, 3491.58, we missed having C equal to 1.618 times A by only about 14 points. Ideal would have been 3505.71. Let's see what happens if this whole thing is just A. We'll have to Pluto these ABCs to lesser degree. So we get ABC of lesser degree for A, we get B, and if we hit 35.1692, the average of 35.1692 and 34.91.58 is 35.04.25, which misses the target by 1 fraction points. So that's a pretty picture if it works. I won't like the fact that it breaks this trend line, but we've broken it before. It didn't really change anything. So it doesn't mean it's the only target, but I think it's a reasonable target. And if we bottom out at 35.1692, we're going to have wave balance within 1 fraction points. And if that happens, we could be off to the races after that, because I still look for this year to be higher. So it doesn't make it the only count, but it's a pretty count, and we'll have to pencil this in. And we won't be surprised if we have a big drop to that level. And we're going to look to that level to see if we can hit a low around there. So this week's break of major support forces me to reassess my wave count. I'm assuming the October 2022 low will hold. Doesn't make me right, but I'm assuming it will. There's balance of the waves if this decline bottoms 35.1692. Please remember, just because one wave count works doesn't mean some other one won't. So that's how I'm currently viewing the long-term picture, even though, as I've said in my last video, I think there's a good chance Monday's up. We could go over 3,900 and then drop below 3,600, almost to 3,500. And it could probably happen pretty quickly. And that's today's update.